and analyze the translation. Have you read it?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Would you please give me something about the translation? Is it well performed? What about meaning? We have taken different types of meaning. So in your opinion, is meaning well conveyed in this translation? Any volunteers? What do you say? Why you are silent, ladies? You've read?
Good morning, doctor.
You've read the quote?
Yes. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning, Rawan.
How are you?
Yes.
Yes, doctor. Actually, the quote is
What
this
do you
time
say
is
about
very
it?
difficult.
What is your opinion?
Actually, I say that the meaning is clear. Yes, but I think that the quote this time is difficult from the last times.
Of course. Yes, although it is difficult, but you can check, for instance, you can check the meaning of any word in a dictionary. Here,
the words, new words.
what type
actually.
of meaning do we have? For instance, the word people. Does it have a lexical meaning here or what? The word luck,
Yes, Dr.
happiness, personal, efforts, all of these words almost, they have a lexical meaning. So if you don't know the meaning of a certain word,
we cannot
you
change.
can check it in a lexicon, in a dictionary. So what is your opinion about the theme, about the translation? Yes, discuss. What are the steps followed by the translator? Here, by the way, which one is the source text?
Doctor, is the English.
What about the rest? Thank you, Rawan.
You're welcome.
Ladies, in your opinion, which one is the source text and which one is the target?
Doctor, I think source in Arabic.
Yes, dear.
Yes, doctor. Source language in Arabic and target language in English. Is English.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Habib. What about the rest, ladies? What do you say?
The same thing as Zainab said. Source language in Arabic and target language in English.
Yeah, doctor, I am with my friends because it starts with Arabic, then that English.
Yes, you say the source text. Oh, okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Seja, thank you very much.
The source language is in Arabic and target language in English.
Seja, what do you say?
The same thing in
source
language in Arabic and target language in English.
Doctor,
okay, thank you very much.
Text English source.
Sarah, what do you say?
Arabic
the source language?
Source language
okay, thank you very much. So Sarah and Rawan, they have the same opinion. Omnia, what do you say?
Hello, doctor. I think the source is English and the target is Arabic.
Yes?
That's my opinion.
Okay, so you have the same opinion with Sarah and Rawan?
Yes, the same with Sarah and Rawan.
Yes, good.
Yes, doctor.
Good
Same the Rawan.
Good for you. The group of
same the Rawan.
the group
In English, the source
team.
in English.
Rawan's team. Ladies, how could you know that the source text is English? By looking at the what?
Because the writer
Elizabeth Gilbert. Elizabeth? Yes, good.
Because
the writer is Elizabeth Gilbert. She is one of the most important novelists. So the source text was originally written in English, not in Arabic.
Yes.
So the source text is English. Okay. What about the translation? What is your opinion about the translation itself? Why you are so quiet today? Zainab.
Yes, doctor. Doctor, I think it is good translation because easy to understanding.
Good. It is easy to be understood. Yes. What else? What about meaning? Zahra Mahsan.
دكتور no translate later يعني ترجمة حرفية.
Literally. Yes,
Literal.
it is not
Yes.
translated literally. Good.
Doctor, I
Sarah.
think the meaning
Thank
in
you.
Arabic.
Sarah. You think what? Yes? Sarah, come on.
Yes, doctor. No translate literally.
Ladies, you remember in our last lectures, when we discuss a certain translated text, when we analyze a certain text, you have to look at what when you judge a certain text as being good translated or not. How can you measure a text to be good translated, a good translated one? By looking at what?
Meaning.
The meaning?
Yes, Zina. Yes, good for you, Zina and Seja. So we look at meaning. Good for you, Zina. Meaning is the main criterion for judging a specific translation as being good or bad. So when you look at meaning of the meaning of this text, do you feel it is well conveyed? You know the meaning of convey. ينقل يعني. هل تم نقله بشكل صحيح؟ صورة صحيحة. Is it well conveyed? Sarah.
Yes, doctor. When I read, I understand.
Yes.
I understand. Don't see the translate Arabic.
So you understand the theme of the text? Yes, good. So when you read Arabic text, which is the target text, you get the meaning which is mentioned in the source text. Besides, look at the original text, at the source text. It starts with what? It starts with the noun. It starts with the nominal sentence. Good. So what about the target text? It starts with what?
Verb.
Verb.
With the verb. Yes. Yes, good. So it starts with a verbal sentence. Why? Remember, I told you before. Why translator preferred starting with a verb? Because Arabs, yes, Alia.
Because Arabs begin by the verb, begin the phrase by the verb.
With the verb, yes. Or Arabs prefer starting with a verb. Or Arabs find it more powerful in a sentence, in a text, to start with a verb. What about the words, for instance? Do they have a lexical meaning? For instance, In the second line, descend
Yes, دكتور.
upon
كلمة
you.
يهبط in English
How it is
descend.
translated? Descend. Good. So here, do we have lexical meaning in these words? Do they have a lexical meaning? ما خطبكن يا سيداتي؟ شو كل يوم شو كلش صمتة.
دكتورة لين امتحان عندنا فمصدومين شوي.
أدري شنو امتحان سوى شيب ديليت
والدنيا
فرغ المعلومات
باردة.
مال ترجمة. So you have to activate yourself, ladies.
Yeah.
We have taken, let me write it. In the last lecture, we have dealt with two types of meaning. First one is the lexical meaning. What does it mean, lexical meaning?
المعجميات دكتورة.
Say it in English. Who is it, Zina?
Yeah.
What is the lexical meaning? Why it is called lexical meaning?
Doctor, can I?
Yes, Zina, Habibti. Zainab, sorry.
Yes, Doctor. Doctor, we can find the meaning in the dictionary.
Good. In a lexicon, it is a meaning which can be checked in a lexicon, in a dictionary. So, for instance, the word trouble in this text. So by the way, when I asked the other groups of your colleagues about the theme of this quote, they have talked about so great things. For instance, they've said that this quote is a very inspirational one because it teaches them that success doesn't depend on a stroke of luck. مو ضربة حظ. Doesn't depend on luck or what or any chance. It is the result of a chain of efforts. You have to exert efforts in order to be lucky or successful. And happiness is made by your own efforts. Here in this quote, the writer, the novelist Elizabeth Gilbert says that you have to fight for your happiness. In the fourth line, as you see it, happiness is the consequence of personal effort. It is translated as السعادة ثمرة مجهود شخصي. So it depends on your own efforts. You fight for it. You have to fight for it, ladies. So the word fight, effort, consequence, happiness, all of them, when I check them in a dictionary, in a lexicon, I find them having the same meaning as in this text, right? So these words have a lexical meaning. Is it understood? Is it clear for you? What is meant by lexical meaning?
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, Zainab. What about the rest? بنات وضح الفرق. شنو المقصود بالمعنى المعجمي بالlexical meaning?
Yes, Doctor, it's clear.
It's clear. Okay. The second type of meaning that we have concentrated on in our last lecture is the textual meaning. Remember the example of pure gold, for instance?
Yes, Doctor.
Remember it? Oh, yes, how did we translate
Yes,
pure
Doctor.
gold?
نقي.
How did we
ذهب
translate it?
صافي أو نقي
Pure gold.
أو خالص.
ذهب صافي. خالص. Good.
أو
نقي.
أو خالص.
Pure angel? Pure angels. Yes. What about pure angels? Very good. Yes. ملائكة أبرار أو أطهار. This is the textual meaning. Today, we are going to take the third type of meaning, which is the contextual meaning. Contextual. In every lecture, almost in every lecture, I ask you to concentrate on what?
The context?
When you translate, you have to take context. Yes, you have to take context into consideration. So what is meant by context? Remember, in each time you translate, every time you translate, you have to take context into consideration, because context plays a vital role in your translation. What is meant by context? Remember what I defined it, how I defined it. What is meant by context?
Doctor, it's a group of lines, sentences.
Every time I tell you that context is a group, the connection between, Rawan. The context is the atmosphere of the sentence. It is the main theme of a text. For instance, when you translate engineering, all the text, when you translate an engineering text, all the sentences in this text talk about engineering. We don't find something about fashion shows, for instance. So the context of this text is about engineering. Or when you translate a legal document, so the context which can be found in this text is a legal one. You can't find something about artistic information or any information about art, about medicine, about fashions, for instance. Is it clear? Context, it is the controlling idea of a text. It is the connections between the words themselves. The word in a specific text has certain relationships with the words that precede and the words that follow. يعني الكلمة من آخذها, it is not taken in isolation, just like the word here in the lexical meaning, as if the words are in isolation. إنه الكلمات معزولة, بحيث لما أخذ كلمة happiness وحدها بدون ما أربطها بجملة معينة. You know the meaning of happiness, and when you take it in a lexicon, in a dictionary, it is also happiness. But in a contextual meaning, the word each time has a different meaning depending on the context. حسب النص اللي هي به. For instance, I'll give you a very simple and a clear example. What is the meaning of the word رياضة? How to translate the word رياضة into English?
Sports.
Sport.
How to translate it? Sports. Good. So here, you've made a great mistake. Why? Because you didn't ask about the context of the word. When you translate something, you have to ask about the context. احنا مو نقول مرات هاي بيا مناسبة تقرأ هذا الكلام، مثلا فلانة قالت عليك انت ما تفتهمين، حشاك. اقصد anyone, any girl, any woman, any student. تجيش وحدة تقول لي شابة ترى فلان قالت عليك انت ما تفتهمين، انت شو تقولي لها؟ هي بيا مناسبة قالت هذا الكلام. Was she serious? Was she joking? هنا شنو؟ إذا الكونتكست اختلف. بالترجمة نفس الشيء عندنا بنات. The same thing applies to translation. When you translate something, you have to ask about the occasion. In which occasion it is used? In which atmosphere? What are the relationships among the words themselves in the text? مثل ما قلت لكم لما تترجمين وثيقة قانونية ما تلقين بها أشياء عن الفن. إذا هنا السياق شنو؟ سياق قانوني. We have here a legal text. So when I ask you what is the meaning of the word رياضة, you have to ask me in which context it is used. For instance, when I tell you about it is about football. So how to translate رياضة here? It is sports. But there are different meanings of the word رياضة in Arabic. Can you guess them? Because we have different contexts. Do you have another meaning for the word رياضة in Arabic? كان العرب الأوائل بارعون في الرياضة. Here, الرياضة, what does it mean? Is it sports? كان العلماء الأوائل كان العلماء العرب الأوائل I mean here scholars بارعون في الرياضة. What does it mean here رياضة؟ كانوا يلعبون طوبة العلماء الأوائل. Since I'm talking about
دكتورة معنى علم الرياضيات.
Arab scholars. Very good عليا. So here رياضة in this context
مقصود الرياضة
I'm talking
العقلية
about
يعني.
mathematics. Zina, good for you حبيبتي. Good for you Zina, excellent. So here since we have another occasion, another context. بنات دائما سألي نفسك what is a context؟ لما تترجمين what is the context of the text؟ إذا تتذكرون حتى كنا مثلا احنا بالإسلامية تذكرون قبل من درسة مناسبة نزول الآية، مناسبة نزول النص، اكو سياق معين، اكو حدث معين خلى الآية تنزل بهالشكل هذا. نفس الشيء even when you speak you have a certain purpose in your mind. اكو هدف عندك. Okay? Each time purpose. The same applies to translation. The writer when he or she writes a text has a certain purpose, has a certain theme to present. So you as a translators, you have to ask yourself before starting to translate, what is the context of the text? What is the occasion? شنو أسباب نزول هذا النص هيك بهالشكل هذا؟ ليش مكتوب بهالشكل هذا؟ What is the controlling idea? شنو الفكرة الأساسية اللي تحكم النص؟ So when you have a legal text, there are legal terms, legal expressions. When you have for instance, you are reading some text about COVID-19 virus. Okay, I guess most of you have read something about COVID-19 virus. Do you expect to find something about the importance of industry, for instance? No. When you read such a text, you'll find something about vaccines, medicines, how to avoid being infected, about infection, about prevention, الوقاية, right? So here the context of the text is a medical context. النص كله يتحدث عن هذا الشيء. So the occasion or the controlling idea of the text, this is the context. So here we have taken different meanings for the word رياضة. It is either sports, it is mathematics. What else? So when I talk about football, physical. Here I'm talking about something what? Physical. When I talk about football as being a sport, رياضة ايش بيها يعني? It is physical, بدنية, right? رياضة بدنية.
Yes.
I have another type of رياضة which is spiritual. بنات تفتهمون علي؟
Yes, doctor.
Yes, doctor, with you.
اليوم الصمت الرهيب، اليوم صمتكم
Yes,
مخيف.
Doctor's like
حتى
you.
صار عندي إحباط بصراحة. كل مرة ألقاكم شوية أكثر نشاط، اليوم فد مرة بطارية هابطة. مو. So we have different types of sport. It is either physical, رياضة بدنية, or I have spiritual. What does it mean spiritual? What is meant by spiritual?
الرياضة
روحية.
الروحية.
Very good. So روحية. It is روحية. Good. What is meant?
Yes.
روحية. Good. شنو هي الرياضة الروحية? Like what?
Yoga.
Maybe yoga?
Like what? Spiritual. Yoga. Good. Good. So the word رياضة in Arabic may mean spiritual, something spiritual as meditation. Meditation means تأمل. So the word رياضة here have three different meanings. It is either sports, it is mathematics, or meditation. What else? For instance, when I say
Doctor, we can
رياضة
say.
الخيل واحدة. Yes, Zina?
Yeah. Doctor, we can say إنه التعبد
زين
هم من
حبيبتي.
النوع
Go
اللي
ahead.
يعتبروه spiritual.
Doctor, what about the word practices? Practice.
So we are talking about the different meanings. Yes, a practice. It is here as a practice, as sport, as being physical or spiritual. Yes, all of them are acceptable. There is another meaning of the word. For instance, when you find this text, رياضة الخيل واحدة من الهوايات الشائعة عند العرب. What does it mean, رياضة الخيل? أو رياضة الحيوانات. Here we have another context. What does it mean رياضة الحيوانات أو رياضة الخيل؟ رياضة الخيل الشرسة.
تربية الحيوانات أو ركوب الخيل.
Very good. No, it is not تربية ولا ركوب. I am Muhammad. Good to find you here. By the way, I am Muhammad. I am Muhammad Znaid. Good morning.
Yep, good morning. Good morning, Dr. Hussein.
Nice to find you here again. Would you please use a formal picture?
Okay, I'm gonna use it.
You hear me?
Yep, I'm gonna.
Okay, Habibti, thank you. And I want to hear your voice today. I didn't hear it for about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So here,
There's some issues in home, so that's why I'm not.
What does it mean, رياضة? Habibti. So, رياضة
دكتور
الخيل, what does
ترويض.
it mean here?
دكتور
It is not
ترويض.
horse riding. ترويض. Very good.
ترويض.
It is ترويض. Good. It is
Yes, دكتور ترويض.
horse taming. ترويض. You see, here we have ترويض. Very good. ترويض. We have sports. For the same word, we have different meanings. It is either sports, it is mathematics, horse taming, taming. What else? Meditation, تأمل. One of your colleagues told me about ترويض النفس, رياضة النفس, sorry.
Doctor, maybe music?
What does it mean, رياضة النفس? This is the fourth.
Doctor, that mean
What does it mean?
من خلال التعبد.
Here, the word رياضة, does it mean sports or practicing? Good. It is either control, good for you, Zina, or discipline, self-discipline, very good. Self. Can't find. Self-discipline. Should be hyphenated. Okay? So رياضة النفس means ضبط النفس أو الانضباط. You see, the same word, which is a very simple one, رياضة, same word, got different meanings, depending on what? Depending on what? Can you answer?
The context? The context.
Depending on the context. Don't forget it, please. Yes, context. So each time you try to translate something, you have to read it carefully. And you have to know what is the context of the text. It talks about what? This is a context. What is the occasion? What is the purpose of the text? In order to choose the appropriate meaning. When, for instance, when you take a dictionary, when you come across the word رياضة, رياضة النفس, you can't write it as self-sports, for instance. So when you check a dictionary, when you check an Arabic-English dictionary, you will find different meanings. So according to your context, you are going to pick the appropriate meaning. Is it understood? So the third type of meaning is the contextual meaning, this one, the contextual meaning. I'll give you an example to explain what does it mean. Here. Full belly. What is meant by belly? When you check it in a dictionary, what is belly? Check it. Yes? Google it now.
Dr. Stomach.
دكتور معدة وبطن.
Good. Stomach. معدة أو بطن. A full belly. إذن المعدة إيش فيها هنا؟ أو البطن هنا إيش فيه؟
ممتلئة.
ممتلئة بوات. عادة. Normally, a belly is full of what?
Food.
Of food. Of food, of course. So, how to translate it? A full belly. البطن ممتلئة. Right? Here, the word belly, does it have a lexical meaning? بعد ما اخذكم امتحان شو اسمه محاضراتكم امتحان. Yes, we can say that it has a lexical meaning because we know that the word belly, when we check it in the dictionary, it has the same meaning. It is belly. معدة أو البطن الممتلئة. البطن. Here the problem. Here we have, in this text, we have the problem with the word dull drain because these two words don't have lexical meaning. When I check the meaning of the word drain, check it please now. Check the meaning of the word drain and tell me what have you found.
دكتور بالوعة.
This is one thing. It is either بالوعة عفوا يعني. Look at it. So these are the meanings. بالوعة. What else?
دكتور استنزاف.
استنزاف. Yes, what else? Yes. By the way, when you
دكتورة نزيف.
at your
العفو دكتورة نزيف. تجي معنا نزيف.
Nazif, but it is not as bleeding. Nazif means that here is something which is pouring. Sarah Mason.
دكتور it means شطف بالغسالة.
It is not shut off. Good. I was just about asking you that you have at your houses, you have washing machines. عندكم غسالات. Look at them. You will find something written as drain. What does it mean, drain? Is it translated in Arabic as Zine?
Yes دكتور شطف.
دكتور يمكن
Drain.
تسريب.
No, it is not. تصريف. Very good. Renez شطف. تصريف يعني طلع المي. So here, let's look at our تصريف. Look at our text here. So there is a close connection. The writer has intended using these words. He tried to connect between a full belly and the drain. But what about the drain? It is dull. So check the meaning of dull. What is meant by dull? Yes? Alia.
باهتا دكتورة تجي باهت.
Okay, bye.
boring. ممل.
Dull drain.
Dr. according to the context.
دكتور
But it is according to the context. Here, ladies, the writer is talking about dull drain. Try to draw a connection between a full belly. Ladies, do you know what the writer is trying to say? He he is making a sort of likeliness يحاول يشبه لكم between a full belly المعدة المليانة بالطعام. By the way, what do we call it? البطن الممتلئ بالطعام. There is a very nice expression to describe البطن الممتلئ بالطعام. What do we call it? When your belly is full of food, what do you say about yourself? زينب مفيد.
دكتور معناها شبعان تجي؟
شبعان, yes, it is شبعان, good. But شبعان has a positive meaning. There is a word which has a negative meaning. كل الشبعان إلى حد إنه you can't eat anymore. When you feel that like that, a full belly. What do we call it in Arabic? Think. بتخون. بتقولي أنا أنت خمت?
Yeah.
It means that you cannot eat anymore. Yes, Onia. So let's see. Instead of saying البطن الممتلئة بالطعام, البطن المدخمة, for instance. Or we have another expression for the word full belly. التخمة. What does it mean, التخمة? It means that you have filled your belly with food and you can't eat anymore. التخمة. Does it convey the same meaning of a full belly?
Yes, the same meaning.
What do you say, ladies? Is it okay to say التخمة?
Yes.
Good. So you say that since we are dealing with the meaning, بتلاحظون بنات? I'm not concerned with the replacement of words. I'm not trying to repeat the same words which are found in the source text. I'm looking for meaning. Sometimes in Arabic, it is more precise to use one word to denote, for instance, 4 words in English. Since I'm trying to convey meaning adequately, here, instead of saying البطن الممتلئة بالطعام, البطن المدخمة بالطعام, I've used one term which is very precise. In Arabic they call it rhetoric. هاي البلاغة. البلاغة الإيجاز إنه تعطينا المعنى المضبوط بأقل كلمات ممكنة. As in your opinion, which word is more precise than the other? البطن الممتلئة بالطعام, البطن المدخمة بالطعام, أو التخمة?
التخمة.
It is up to you.
تخمة دكتور.
تخمة.
Okay, so here, let's see what is the relationship between التخمة and the drain. The writer is trying to make a connection between a full belly and the drain. Does it mean that you cannot drain something? What is the connection here? Is it related? How can I say it? Here, when you are so full of food, when you are so مدخومة, you can't do what? You can't think. And as you know, thinking, it is getting out of your mind. So the writer is trying to draw a connection, to make a connection between a full belly and the ability to think. Those whose bellies are so full of food, they can't drain, they can't get something out of their mind. يسوي علاقة بين البطن المليانة المدخمة وبين عدم القدرة على التفكير. So here the word drain does not have a lexical meaning, because the lexical meaning is here, which is not helpful for me as a translator. dull تجي مع كئيب also. So what does it mean? تصريف كئيب, تصريف باهت, تصريف ممل. Does it make sense? When I ask you to translate it and you are going to replace the word, you may say that البطن الممتلئة بالطعام, for instance, تجعل بالوعا مملة. What does it mean? Does it have any sense to you?
No.
Or to the receiver, or to anyone who hears?
No,
Mistake here.
Yeah.
Because the word drain should not be translated lexically. No, it does not have a lexical meaning. We have a contextual meaning in this text. there is a context. In this context, the writer tries to draw a connection between a full belly and thinking, as if thinking, in thinking we are going to get something out of our mind. So التخمة, for instance, تجعل what? For instance, التفكير سيئا هنا. It is also literal, although I'm trying to get the point, get the theme of the text. I didn't present a well-written text in Arabic. Here, this is the theme, ladies. إنه المدخول ما يفكر زين. Do we have in Arabic such kind of expression that denotes the same idea? عندنا بالعربية فد شيء ينقل نفس المعنى. There is a very nice prophetic tradition. Prophetic tradition يعني حديث نبوي شريف. In Arabic, we have prophetic, just a minute حبيبتي. Tradition. Prophetic tradition meaning حديث نبوي شريف. Yes. What is it? Having the same meaning. What is it? We have, I'll write it.
دكتورة نحن قوم لا نؤمن.
Instead of saying التخمة, no, look at it. Here, البطنة, شوف حلو التعبير. البطنة, it means a full belly. تذهب what?
تذكرت دكتورة البطنة تبطل الفطمة.
تذهب الفطمة.
تذكرتها.
يعني كرشة مليان عقله ما يشتغل.
إيه.
Good. See, البطنة, a full belly is translated as البطنة. See here, by the way, ladies, this is a sort of advanced step in translation. I'm just trying to tell you that in a translation, we are not concerned with the replacement of words. We are trying to give the appropriate meaning. بتشوفون أنا أبد ما له علاقة بالكلمات. I don't study words in isolation. أنا عندي الكلمات مو معزولة. Yes.
يا دكتور هذا حديث يقول لا فطنة مع البطنة.
يا زينة.
فهو قريب علي.
Good. لا فطنة مع البطنة. كلش قريب. كلش قريب. Sometimes, ladies, تشوفون أنا, I'm just trying to tell you that in a translation we concentrate on meaning. If you don't arrive at the appropriate meaning, your translation will be horrible, just like this one. تخيلوا أنتم ترجمتها هيك: البطن الممتلئة بالطعام تجعل البالوعة مملة، تجعل البالوعة كئيبة. يعني ترجميها حرفيا تصير كارثة. Okay, I'll look at this text. Inshallah, later on, when you practice different types of text, and when you practice a lot, you will get the ability to know the meaning of a text by guessing its context. So don't panic if you don't recognize the meaning from the first time. You are novice translators, ladies, as I told you, you are beginners. I'm just trying to give you some hints about the importance of translation. I'm trying to tell you that you are not going to adopt the literal method of translation. أبد ما تتقربين من الترجمة الحرفية. الترجمة الحرفية تسوي كوارث. Just remember this example. It has nothing to do with Balua. If you translate it as Balua, you will make a horrible mistake. Okay? So, how many times of meaning we have taken up to now? We have taken 3. First one, lexical meaning, the textual meaning, the contextual meaning. And the fourth one is what? The suggestive meaning. أحسكم ما مرتاحين اليوم، ما عندكم واحد تشاركون.
لا دكتورة بس شوية أشياء جديدة فنحاول إنه نفتهمها حاليا.
أشياء جديدة إن شاء الله مرور الأيام. If you practice more, they will stick to your mind. You won't forget them. You will remember everything when you practice translation. But since it is your first practice of translation, that's why you are having some problems, or you may find it a little bit difficult for you. So the suggestive meaning. What is meant by suggestive? It is fourth here, not fourth. Fourth tab. Suggestive. What does it mean, suggest? You know the meaning of suggest. It's suggestive. This is adjective of suggestion. يا إيمان.
Yes, doctor.
اقتراح. اقتراح is the lexical meaning. You see, all of you almost have the lexical meaning. A minute, حبيبتي. So all of you know the lexical meaning of the word suggestion. All of you know that the meaning of the word suggestion in Arabic is اقتراح. There is another meaning for the word, which is not lexical. Suggestion. Yes, I.
يعني توحي موحية. Not just like
Yes, I. You wanted to say something?
yeah.
Good.
There is a اقتراح.
Very good. مرحبا.
Doctor, opinion. Our opinion.
Yes. So it is suggestion. You've said يوحي. I. So it is المعنى والإيحائي. The text suggests something to you. When you read the text itself suggests something to you. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. Here. When we look at the words, we don't have any problem to understand the meaning. They seem as having a lexical meaning. We know the meaning of seeing. We know the meaning of ghost. What does it mean, ghost? Yes, you know it.
شبح.
Yes, شبح. Stood, you know the meaning of stood.
Meaning stop.
Motionless, we know the meaning of motion. Motionless. Yes, without moving, motionless. So this text, although it seems very simple and clear enough, but it has a suggestive meaning. So how to translate it? To see what is the suggestive meaning of the text. Try to give me something, don't be shy.
دكتور بعد
Ladies, bye. Just try to practice translation. But all of you are learning. Yes, a minute, Zina. بعدين رأى
دكتور
زينة.
Yes, دكتور. بعد أن
complete your translation.
بعد أن رأى الشبح لم يكن له القدرة على التحرك.
Can you translate?
Okay. أنت تشرح كلام واسع.
بعد
أمنت حبيبتي. أمنت.
بعد رؤية الأشباح وقفوا بلا حراك. هم after they seeing the ghost they stood motionless.
Why is أشباح? Yes. Okay, good. وقفوا بلا.
أو sorry بعد
What?
رؤية الشبح وقف لا.
وقفوا بلا حركة you
بلا
said؟
حراك.
بلا حراك.
بس
Good.
هنا عندي خطأ لأن هي ghost بعد رؤية الشبح.
Yes. Okay, good. So you have to be careful in translation. You be accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ali. Who else? Lower hand. حبيبتي خلينا نشوف البقية. Lower hand. سارة ميثم.
دكتور I say بعد رؤية الشبح وقفوا عاجزين.
وقفوا عاجزين. You say عاجزين. Here, so you say. Why it is عاجزين? It is motionless. Is there any mention of being helpless? It's okay. Good for you. Since you have tried something. Lower hand, please, Sarah. روان.
دكتورة نقول لقد توقفوا بلا حراك بعد رؤيتهم للشبح. يعني is it okay to إنه نقدم the second sentence?
Okay. Yes, it is. It's okay. It's quite okay.
بعد
You
رؤيتهم
are.
للشبح.
By the way, ladies, بعد a minute. الشبح. In the translation, you are just like what? You are just like a potter. You know the meaning of a potter? What is meant? A potter. Not Harry Potter, of course. Translators are just like potters. What is meant by a potter? سجا عادل.
محررين دكتور؟
Potter. Pot. Yes, سجا. When you check the meaning of the word potter, الخزاف, ladies, هذا اللي يسوي الخزف. So a translator is just like a potter who molds clay in different shapes. فانت لما تشوفين الخزاف شو يسوي هو؟ يلعب بالهذا الصلصال. لا مو بورتر not porter. بورتر بنات الخزاف اللي يلعب بالطين، هذا الطين ويسوي منه اشكال. اللي يسوي خزاف، ما سامعين كلمة خزاف؟
يا دكتورة أشياء الخزفية.
عفوا.
ما سامعينها؟
نعرفها دكتور.
هذا اللي يطلع مرات اللي امام الطين يظل يلاعب به.
اي بعجلة هيك طين.
Just like بالضبط. A translator is just like a potter who molds the clay يلعب بالصلصال to produce different shapes. So answering your question, Rowan, you have the freedom, full of freedom. You are full of free to start your text the way you like it. On the one condition, it should what? It should apply to the norms of the language that you are translating into. Since you are translating into Arabic, you have to mind the norms of the Arabic language. Is it acceptable to start with so and so? So it is, you are quite free. You can start the way you like it unless you don't violate the rules of Arabic. Okay, another alternative? Who is it? Sarah.
Yes, doctor. I agree with Rawan, but I change something. Don't say لقد.
How to translate
توقفوا بدون حراك بعد رؤيتهم للشبح.
توقفوا بدون حراك.
Yes, دكتور بدون يعني ما أحتاج
بدون حراك بعد رؤيتهم. Yes, it's okay. It doesn't change meaning. بدون حراك. By the way, it is in Arabic. It is unpreferable to say the word بدون. It is من دون. It's one of the common mistakes in Arabic. Don't say بدون. من دون. Okay?
Okay,
so another rendition. So So here we have what? We have a suggestive meaning. Can you guess what the writer is trying to suggest? So how can you convey the same meaning in Arabic? So when I read the text for the first time, I myself became scared. I was scared. So what did they say? What did they see? What type of a ghost they have been seeing? So can you convey the same effect in your translation? Can you give me another rendition, another alternative, another suggestion?
دكتور كانوا مرعوبين لرؤية
We have in
الشبح.
Arabic, ladies, certain expressions. What? Sorry, repeat it. Repeat it, Amnia.
كانوا مرعوبين لرؤيتهم للشبح.
كانوا مرعوبين.
It's a scary one.
Here, ladies, look at the text. The main theme of the text is that what? The word motionless. Of course, we can guess that there is a sort of horror in this text. not إنه بيرعب. But how to convey the meaning of motionless in Arabic? In Arabic, there are certain expressions that convey the meaning of motionless as well as being scared. So can you give me another? Here you are, although your translations are good, all of them are good, but you are repeating the same expression as they are found in the target text. This is the target text. In the source text, although your translation is good, but you didn't give me, just like the example of batna. Here in the word batna, instead of saying al-batna al-mubtali'a bit-ta'am, we've used a very nice expression in Arabic to denote the same meaning of a full belly. Here, do you remember any expression in Arabic denoting the meaning of motionless? Motionless out of being scared, out of horror. تذكرون في المصطلح ينطيني نفس الإيحاء. Here the word motionless having a suggestive meaning. هذا بيفد إيحاء إنهم شدة الرعب. إيش بيهم؟ زينب مفيد.
جامدين.
تجمدوا.
Good.
بعد رؤيتهم للشبح لقد تجمدوا.
تجمدوا. Very good. This is you are approaching. Very good. زينب. تجملوا. بعد رؤيتهم. There is something missing with تجمدوا. What is it? بتشوفون بنات? You are approaching translation adequately. By practice, you will be expert translators. Yes, it is تجمدوا in Arabic, but there is something should be added to this expression. They don't say تجمدوا. شنو التجمد بيهم؟ Motionless. إذن بالعربي أكون تجمدوات. زينب. شنو؟ آية؟
ثابتين أو ساكنين يعني قلتوا.
I can't hear you. Sorry. ثابتين or no? It is not ثابتين. It is تجمدت. But which part of them تجمد? What do we say in Arabic?
دكتورة القلب.
No. تجمد.
أقدامهم دكتورة.
مشاعرهم. مشاعرهم.
Almost. It is تجمدت.
أجسادهم.
أوصالهم. تجمدت أوصالهم عند رؤيتهم الشبح. سامعين هالتعبير؟ سامعين؟ تجمدت فرائصهم. Sometimes they say تجمدت فرائصهم. تجمدت. Or we have another expression. Instead of saying تجمدت, هي بتلاحظون motionless معناها قام يمشي من شدة الخوف. When I say تجمدت أوصالهم, نفس الشيء هم عندي تعبير ينطي إنه motionless out of horror. إيش عندي بعد؟ Another expression. تسمروا في أماكنهم. تسمروا في أماكنهم. Does it denote the same meaning of motionless? What do you say? Does it convey the same meaning of motionless? The suggestive meaning of motionless? Of course. بنات هنا أنا عندي suggestive meaning معنى إيحائي، فلازم أجيب معنى يعطيني نفس الإيحاء. هنا أنا motionless هالقد ما شايفين مرات واحد من يخاف تجمد رجليه ما يقدر يتحرك، تشله الصدمة، شله الخوف. فهنا أنا نفس الشيء. So I've used either تجمدت أوصالهم، تجمدت فرائصهم، تسمر في أماكنهم. And we have another expression in Arabic that denotes the same meaning. سامعين تعبير كأن على رؤوسهم الطير؟ سامعين هذا التعبير؟
Yes, doctor.
أي دكتورة سامع.
So as far as we are concerned with meaning, different types of meanings can be found in a specific text. So it is your job as translators to detect what type of meaning in order to convey the message adequately. So this is the end of our lecture for today. I'm so grateful for your presence, for being with me from the very beginning of the lecture up to now. I'm going to take your attendance, please. Thank you. Thank you for those who participate and activate the lecture. Thank you very much.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you, Doctor. Today's lecture was full of information.
Habib.
Thank you, Doctor.
Habib.
Yes, Doctor.
براء
Yes,
خالد.
Doctor.
وأنا اليوم أشوفكم ضروري أشوفكم.
Yes.
رشا. Rasha, where are you? Rasha. Yes, thank you. Ruqayya.
Yes.
Rahma Faris.
Yes, Doctor.
Yes, Ruqayya, thank you. Rahma, where are you?
Yes, Doctor.
Where are you? Rahma, you have so many absentees. Be careful. Habib, be careful. Ruqayya Majid, I didn't hear your voice today, unfortunately. Where is Ruqayya Majid? Absent? Randa, you are here. Rawan, you are here. Ru'asani, she didn't show up to now. Okay, Randa, حبيبتي أدري. Dania Saad, where are you, Dania? رقية ماجد ما يطلع صوت عندها لا. She left the meeting. I've seen her. She has left the meeting.
دكتورة
دانيا أوكي. إيه سمعتك يا دانيا. أوكي. أمنية عماد. You are here, Omnia. Yes, I've seen you, but you have so many absentees. Be careful, please.
Yes, Doctor, I have facing
Thank you, thank you. Zahra Jamil. Zahra Jamil. Zahra Khalil. Where are you today? Unfortunately.
Yeah, here.
I didn't hear your voice today. Aya, you are here. Thank you. Zahra Saleh. Zahra Saleh. I want to see your real picture, Aya, next time, Habibti. Zahra Saleh.
Doctor, I'm already changed it.
Where are you,
If
Zahra?
you just like notice it.
Yes,
Okay.
I know. Oh, good.
Yeah.
You're so beautiful.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yes,
more
you're
gorgeous.
great. The one in red? Yes, the beautiful lady. Thank you. Zahra Saleh. Where are you, Zahra Saleh? Bushra Allawi. Hurry up. Zahra Saleh
Yes,
is absent?
Doctora. Bushra
Where are
Allawi.
you? Bushra Allawi is here. Thank you. Al Khayzuran.
Yes, doctora.
Okay, I know. Al
Yes,
Khayzuran.
doctor.
Thank you. Benin is here. Zahra Abdul Khaliq.
Yes,
زهراء
دكتورة
عقيل.
زهراء عبد الخالق موجودة.
زهراء عقيل هريا.
دكتورة زهراء عقيل رجلها مسوي حادث
زهراء
ما
عقيل.
قدرت تحضر.
دكتورة زهراء عبد الخالق هم موجودة.
She is absent. Thank you. ايش شفتش حبيبتي؟ زهراء محسن. You may leave. You may leave. Those who are here, you may leave. زهراء محسن, thank you. زهراء محمد. زهراء محمد, where are you? دعاء ثابت, she asked for a leave. She wrote me an email. زهراء يحيى.
نعم.
زهراء يحيى I've seen you. زينب الحوراء absent. علياء الشمسي.
دكتورة
علياء
بس
الشمسي
عندي سؤال، سجليني حضور.
زهراء يحيى I know.
موجودة أني.
اي أدري. زينب حسن. زينب محمد is here. Where is زينب حسن؟ زينب مفيد is here. زينب مقدم.
نعم دكتورة موجودة.
Thank you. صفا.
Yes
صفا
دكتورة.
أكرم. زينة نجمي are
نعم
here. I know.
دكتورة.
سارة كاظم. She is here. Sarah Nathan is here. Scenario.
Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor.
Yes, thank you. You may leave. Sajja Jamal. Sajja, hurry up. Yes, thank you. طيبة علي. طيبة
I am
أحمد.
here. طيبة علي.
دكتورة أنا زينب حسن ما سمعتيني.
طيبة أحمد.
دكتور طيبة علي.
سجلت حبيبتي. ينفتح عندي أسئلة ينفتح عندي وأشوف عيني. زينب حسن.
العفو دكتورة سمعتيني؟
إيه حبيبتي شفتش موجودة وشاركت عليها. لا أخذ أسماءكم أنا أدري من الموجود.
شكرا دكتور.
سجى عادل most welcome. سجى عادل is here. حبيبتي. سندس علي.
Yes دكتور.
سندس most welcome. سورة صائب.
Yes دكتور.
فاطمة الزهراء most welcome حبيبتي. فاطمة الزهراء. absent. تيمة. hurry up. تيمة. آية جاسم. سمية.
Yes.
Okay تيمة. آية جاسم where are you? and سمية.
Yes, doctor.
سمية. Okay, thank you. See you next week, ladies. Thank you very much.